Welcome, everyone, to our class to help you improve your English speaking fluency. And we're going to do this in a listen and repeat style. So you'll shadow me to sound like a native speaker. And I'll say it fast. You'll listen to me say the sentence fast, and then you'll listen slow. We'll talk about the pronunciation changes and the meaning, and then you'll listen fast again to make sure you can hear it in the real world, the way natives use it. So let's look at some expressions you can use when asking for advice. So think of something you might want to ask your friend, your sister, your teacher for advice. You can say, "What would you do in my situation? What would you do in my situation?" Now, notice here, I have in my situation. There's an idiom that we use, which is in my shoes. What would you do in my shoes? So it's imagining that the person is you. So this is a great way to ask for advice. I'll say it fast, slow, and then fast. What would you do in my situation? What would you do in my shoes? Now I'll say it slowly and we'll talk about that pronunciation. What would you do? What would you do in? Do in. So notice you have a gliding sound with a w. Win. Do in my situation. Do in my shoes. So not a lot of pronunciation change. All you have to do is change situation to shoes. And notice it's plural. It's not one shoe, it's both shoes. So you always need shoes. And the shoes or the situation belongs to the person. So you need a possessive pronoun. Azam said, "What would you do if you were in my shoes?" Exactly. So notice I just dropped in my example, I just dropped the if you were. If you were, what would you do if you were in my situation? So if you were, you can absolutely use that. And notice it uses were. If I were in your shoes. So that's how you could reply. If I were, yes, you would use were because it's hypothetical. If I were in your shoes, I'd tell my boss that I'm not willing to work on weekends. So that could be the situation. All right, awesome job. So I'll say it fast and you can repeat after me to practice that pronunciation. What would you do in my situation? What would you do in my shoes? So there's a great expression to add to your vocabulary. Let's keep going. How about this one? Oh, I love this. What do you think this means? Is this a positive thing or a negative thing? That's always important. When you're learning new vocabulary, you have to understand the feeling of it, the emotion. Is it a positive or a negative? Okay, how about this one? Remember, this is the situation of asking for advice. And you turn to your friend, your brother, your spouse, your parents, and you say, "Am I just overthinking it?" And I'd probably say it with a little bit of doubt or worry in my voice. Am I just overthinking it? Am I just overthinking it? Am I just? So notice how quick that will sound. Am I just? Am I just? Am I just overthinking it? Yes, John, you're right. It's a negative. Merrick, exactly. Negative. Paslak, negative. Exactly. Because you need to understand the verb to overthink. To overthink. So this is the verb in the present continuous. We have the verb to be, am. We start with that because it's the question form. And then you have your verb in ing because as a statement, it would be I am overthinking it. And it represents the situation. So maybe you want to tell your boss you're not willing to work on weekends, but you decided this 3 months ago, and every day you think about what you're going to say to your boss. or what your boss is going to say back to you. But it's been a long time. So overthinking something means you're thinking too much about something and you're creating unnecessary negative emotion. Maybe unnecessary worry, doubt, anxiety, frustration, stress, whatever negative emotion it is. So, of course, it's good to think about something that's positive. It isn't good to overthink something that's negative. So, I'll say it again fast and you can repeat after me. Am I just overthinking it? Am I just overthinking it? Yeah, and this is an excellent definition. Thinking a lot about something in a non-healthy way. Exactly, non-healthy. I like how you said that. Very nicely said. All right. Let's keep going. How about this? So remember the category asking for advice. Be honest. Should I accept the job? So if I start a conversation with you and I say, be honest, be honest. So how about this one? Be honest. Do you like my hair? I'm giving you the opportunity to say, no, Jennifer, I don't like your hair because I'm inviting you to be honest. So we might start a question or a statement with be honest. If I think there's a possibility you wouldn't tell me the truth just because you don't want to hurt my feelings or make me feel bad. So be honest. Should I accept the job? So should I accept the job? That's a full clause on its own. Well, it's a question form. Should I? Should I? Should I? Notice how that connects. Should I accept the? Notice I don't pronounce this T on accept because I have a T right there. Accept the, accept the, accept the job. Be honest. Should I accept the job? Here's a good one, Dinesh. Be honest. Should we go to a birthday party? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now, remember, we would only add be honest if there is the possibility that the response would hurt my feelings or make me feel bad or something like that. There would be some sort of negative consequence. So maybe I'm not qualified for the job. So my friend might say, well, honestly, I don't know if you're ready for it. Or maybe the job is below my qualifications, but I don't have a lot of confidence in myself. So my friend would say, honestly, I think you can do a lot better. So those could be the two possibilities of a reply. And notice, honestly, that's how you could reply back to someone. Okay. Yeah, so here's a good one. Be honest. Should I go on a date with her? Exactly, exactly. So maybe your friend would say, honestly, she's out of your league. She's out of your league. Oh, do you know what that means? She's out of your league. Okay. Awesome. Let's keep going. How about this one? Have you ever dealt with something like this? So, in the situation of asking someone for advice, maybe I'm going to tell my boss I don't want to work on weekends. So, I want to know if my friend has been in a situation where they had to tell their employer they don't want to work certain days. Because if my friend has dealt with that, then I know she might have better advice to offer me or can tell me about her experience in that situation. So to deal with something, notice the verb is deal. In the past simple, in the third form, it's dealt because this is in the present perfect. Have you ever? Have you ever dealt with? If you deal with something, it means that you've experienced it or you've managed it, and we generally use it with negative situations. So you wouldn't say, I've dealt with an amazing boss, because an amazing boss is positive. But you might say, I've dealt with an overly demanding boss. So that's negative. So we use to deal with to experience a situation that has negativity involved in it. Have you ever dealt with something like this? Have you ever dealt with a similar situation? Have you ever dealt with this situation? So you could use other words as well. Okay, so I'll say it slowly. Have you ever dealt with? So notice when I say dealt, when I have another word after, I'm just going to do a flap T. So I'm not going to push out the sound. So dealt with. I'll put my tongue in that position, but just not push it out. Dealt with something like this. So same with this like. I'm not going to push out that sound. So I'll just say like this. And then to get that unvoiced or that voiced TH, remember to put your tongue between your teeth and then push out the sound. This. Okay, yeah, and you, Fabrice, you can absolutely use the verb face, to face something. You face a situation, and often something that has negativity involved. Have you ever faced something like this? I like that. Very nicely done. And Jolanta used it as well. Just know you face something. You don't need that additional preposition to. You just face something. Yeah, this could work. Have you ever dealt with such a hard interview? So with such a hard interview. Exactly. Hello, Yosef. I dealt with an overly demanding task. Exactly. Very nice, everyone. Hello, Oxa. Yeah, for such, you actually switch it and you say such a situation. Has she ever dealt with such a situation? Such a situation. All right. Let's keep going, everyone. Oh, this is a great one to have in your vocabulary with advice, asking for advice. How should I handle this? How should I handle this? So, to handle something is how should I solve this? How should I accomplish this? How should I manage this? And you can also use how should I deal with this if it's a negative situation. How should I handle this? So, your boss says, Jennifer, I want you to work on Saturday, but that's not part of your regular work hours. So my boss asked me, and I'm asking you, how should I handle this? How should I handle this? How should I handle, there's two sounds, handle this. How should I handle this? How should I handle this? Okay. Have you ever dealt with an annoying boss? Exactly. Oh, I like tackle, Pritam. How should I tackle this? I really like tackle. That sounds very native. A native speaker would definitely say that. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Yoon. You should be asking yourself or others this question. How should I handle this fear of sounding wrong? This fear of making mistakes? Exactly, exactly. Yes, very nice. All right. Now, I have this free speaking guide for you. I share my best tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently right here in this beautiful guide. You can print it out like I did, or you can save it to your computer as well. So you can go to the link at the bottom here, jforcesenglish.com. You'll see it right there. And you just enter your name and email, and then this will be emailed to you. And if you're enjoying this lesson, if you want me to keep making these lessons, keep teaching you natural expressions, keep working on pronunciation, keep giving you feedback on your examples in real time for all my students watching live, put yes, 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 put yes, yes, yes in the comments below. And of course, make sure you like this lesson to show your support. It truly helps my channel and it makes it possible for me to keep making these lessons available to you absolutely free. So hit that like button and subscribe so you're notified every time I go live or every time I post a new lesson. And we'll keep going. Now, you want to react to some great news. So your friend just told you that he got the promotion. He proposed to his girlfriend and she said yes. They're having a baby. They bought a house. Whatever it might be. He found $20 on the street. It can be big or it can be small. It doesn't matter, but there's some sort of great news. So let's react. How can you react to this great news? You can say, "No way! That's amazing. No way. That's amazing." So, native speakers, we love using this first part. No way. So, your friend tells you, "I just got a promotion." No way. My wife is pregnant. No way. We won a vacation. No way. I found $20 in my pocket. No way. So no way. That's amazing. So of course that is and that represents the situation. So the fact that your wife is pregnant or the fact that you found $20. That's amazing. That situation. And instead of amazing, you can use any positive adjective. So, what else could you say instead of amazing? Yeah, that's terrific. That's terrific. And Hidaki, this is a good one. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's a good one as well. Really? That's a good one. I like that. You can simply just say, wow, wow. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, no way is the same feeling as saying, really? No way. Exactly. Seriously? Exactly. You can use that one as well. Seriously? All right. Now you're sounding like a native speaker. And absolutely, Ruslan, you can say, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. You can say that for sure. Okay. How about this one? I'm so happy for you. Seriously, well deserved. So the well deserved, that would be context specific. So if your friend is excited because they passed the IELTS and got a very high score, I can say well deserved, which is another way of saying you deserve it. You deserve it. So instead of that, you can say well deserved, deserved, well deserved. Seriously, well deserved. And adding seriously in front of it, this isn't the same as seriously. It's not the same. It's saying you seriously deserve this. So I'm intensifying well deserved. I'm saying really, really well deserved. Okay, so you can add on, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Seriously, well deserved. Seriously, well deserved. Okay. Yeah, I like this one. I'm over the moon. So this is an idiom. If you're over the moon, it means you're extremely happy. You made my day. You made my day. I like that. I say that a lot when friends share good news with me. I say, you made my day. Or I might say, that made my day. Instead of you, that represents whatever news the person just shared with me. So if my friend tells me that she's pregnant, I would say that made my day. That represents the fact that you're pregnant. So it's the news that she shared with me. That made my day. All right. How about this one? This is seriously the best news I've heard all week. So similar to what we were just talking about with that made my day. It has the same feeling. So you can add on seriously if you want to intensify it. And you can say that is or this is. In this specific context, there's not much of a difference here. So this is seriously the best news I've heard all week. The best news I've heard all week. Notice this is in the present perfect because it's an unfinished timeline. So it sounds like today is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The week is still in progress. Now, even if my friend told me on Sunday, which is the end of the week in North America, I would still consider the week to be in progress. So I can still say I've heard all week, even if it is the end of the week. So let's review the pronunciation. This is. So I'm going to use this S. This is. And you'll hear that S. This is. This is seriously. So again, another S. This is seriously. So let's practice those S's. Repeat after me. This is seriously. This is seriously the best news I've heard all week. I've heard all. So I'll put this D sound on the all. Repeat after me. I've heard all week. Heard all week. Heard all week. Heard all week. Now it sounds weird when you say it so slowly, but when I say it at a natural pace, it sounds natural. I've heard all week. I've heard all week. I've heard all week. All right. I'm excited. Absolutely, Ivana. You can absolutely say that. Oh, Natalia, I like this. The best news ever. And you can add on this is or that is if you want. This is the best news ever. You could add that. How about this one? This is a big deal. Congrats. Congrats. So, congrats is the short form of congratulations. Native speakers often just say congrats, 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 congrats. So, notice that the unstress at the beginning, congrats, congrats, congrats. Now, this first line, it's validating the person's news because often adults we don't like, well, maybe not all adults, some people do, but some people they don't like to talk about their accomplishments too much. They might feel a little uncomfortable making a big deal about it. So they might try to minimize it and be like, "Oh, yeah, I got a promotion. No big deal. Oh, it's nothing." So they might try to minimize it. So you want to encourage them to celebrate and say, "This is a big deal." And if you want, you could start with a gerund verb and say, Getting a promotion is a big deal. Getting a promotion is a big deal. Buying your first house is a big deal. Congrats, congrats, congrats. Yeah, this is a big achievement or accomplishment. Exactly. Getting the promotion is a big deal. Congrats. Exactly. Thanks for writing that out. So notice you start with the gerund, getting the promotion, and then you need your verb to be conjugated with a singular because getting the promotion is represented as it, the subject it. Getting the promotion is a big deal. Congrats. Congrats. Oh, right. Yeah, going to the moon is a big deal. That is true. That is a big deal. This is huge. Oh, I like this one. Good job, Monsoon. This is huge. Congrats. So you could say that as well. This is huge. Congrats. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, I like this one. So this works in only certain contexts, of course, but you can say, I knew you'd get it. I knew you'd get it. I knew you'd get it. What does this you'd, what does this D represent here? I knew you'd get it. And let's talk about the pronunciation while you think about what this D represents. I knew you'd. So notice you I just put my tongue in the D position, but I don't push it out and say you'd because then it forces me to take a pause and it interrupts the flow of the sentence. I knew you'd get it. Get it. So this T becomes between vowels, so I can pronounce it more as a soft D. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. And yes, learn English with me. D represents would. I knew you would get it. I knew you would get it. And Jing got it. Kitya got it. Exactly. Exactly. Ah, Lokesh, don't feel bad. It's not the contraction of had, although it can be the contraction of had, but in this context, it wouldn't be grammatical to use had, but that is a possibility. Okay. Now, instead of get it means receive something. So, in this context, maybe it's a promotion or a job. I knew you'd get the job. I knew you'd receive the job. But if it's a different context, for example, you're congratulating your friend on getting a high score on the IELTS, maybe you would say, I knew you'd get a high score, or I knew you'd do well. I knew you'd nail it. To nail something means to do a great job. I knew you nail it. So it represents the IELTS. I knew you nail the IELTS. I knew you'd get a high score on the IELTS. So instead of get it, you would have to change those words based on the context of what you're congratulating. So the accomplishment. Okay. Yeah. And Monsoon wrote, I never doubted you. I never doubted you. Exactly. So it means I always knew, I always had confidence in your skills or your abilities. I'm not surprised that you got the promotion. All right. How about, reacting to disappointing news? You didn't get the promotion. You didn't get the job. You didn't get a high score on the IELTS, even though You were qualified for the promotion. You prepared for the job and thought the interview went really well. You studied for weeks, but you didn't get it. And hey, that's life. That happens to everyone. So let's learn some phrases. Oh, yeah, Pazak. What a shame. What a shame. You can say that. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. And again, you want your body language to reflect that. So, oh, what a shame. What a shame. I feel sad for you. Don't give up. Exactly. Hang in there. Oh, look at you. All of you are so supportive. I love this. I love this. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. Awesome. You guys are doing my job for me. I don't even need to do anything. Okay, how about this? That really sucks. I know how much effort you put into this. So everyone has already given some really great alternatives to that really sucks. What a pity. I feel sad for you. What a shame. All of these could be a replacement to that really sucks. So native speakers like saying that sucks. That sucks. And of course, we have that S on sucks because it's conjugated in the third person singular in the present simple. So that sucks. That sucks. It's when you're acknowledging that a situation is negative. And again, you can use this for a minor situation. I lost $20 on the subway. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Or it could be a larger situation. I didn't get the job. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Now, depending on the context, you can add this next part and you may want to adjust it. But in the context of preparing for a job interview, preparing for your IELTS, preparing a project to get a promotion, I know how much effort you put into this. You put into this. I know how much effort you put into. So this double or this put into, you might pronounce it as a soft D. Put in, din, put into this. And then I might also, instead of to, I might do an unstressed ta. Put into this, put into this. So repeat after me. Put into this, put into this, put into this. Okay, so I'll say it all together. That really sucks. I know how much effort you put into this. Okay, let's keep going. How about this one? I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. And that represents whatever news. I'm so sorry to hear you didn't get the promotion. So instead of that, you could use a clause. You can even skip to here. You can just say, I'm so sorry you didn't get the promotion. So you can use I'm so sorry and then a clause. Now, if you want to use to here, you would just use that, which means the situation. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm here to talk anytime. So you're offering your support, you're offering that you're available to comfort the person or to offer advice, then you already know the phrases to offer advice. Okay. Now notice here and here, it's the same pronunciation. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm here to talk anytime. And I'm here just represents I'm available. I'm available. Yeah, Azam, I'm here to support you. That's a great one. Or simply, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. You can count on me. This is an excellent phrase to offer your sympathies or your support. You can count on me. You can count on me. Okay, I'm here to support you. Exactly. Let's keep going, everyone. How about this? That's the worst. That's the worst. So here, the worst, native speakers use this quite dramatically when it isn't actually the worst. For example, if my friend told me she lost $20 on the subway, obviously way worse things can happen than that. So that's not actually the worst, but I could still say, "Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst." So it's just being more dramatic. It's a more dramatic way of saying that sucks. That sucks. Remember, we learned that sucks. Now, instead of that, just to be more dramatic, you can say that's the worst. That's the worst. And it doesn't actually have to be the worst. Okay. And then instead of saying I'm here for you, I'm always there for you, you can count on me, you can offer this. Is there anything I can do to help? Is there anything I can do to help? Is there? Is there anything I can do to help? So instead of to, make sure you pronounce it as ta, do to help, do to help, do to help. That's the worst. So losing $20, losing money. So I would probably just replace it with losing money is the worst. Losing money is the worst. Is there anything I can do to help? Here, do you need $20? So that's what I could do to help. I could give my friend 20 bucks. Maybe she really needed that money. Okay. Yeah, I'm ready to give you a hand. So to give someone a hand means to help someone. I'm ready to give you a hand. Count on me, whatever you need. Exactly. Awesome. There's lots of great phrases. Also, some phrases I wouldn't use, but there's definitely some good ones here. How about this one? Hang in there. Things will get better. I know it. So, if your friend didn't get the job, didn't get the promotion, got a low score on the IELTS, even though they studied and prepared, you could offer hang in there. Hang in. Hang in. So notice how that combines together. Hang in. Hang in there. Hang in there. Hang in there. Hang in there. Things will get better. I know it. So to hang in there, it means keep studying for the IELTS and try again. Keep working hard at your job and apply for the next promotion. Keep applying to different jobs and preparing for the interviews and go to the interviews prepared. So hang in there. Keep doing what you're doing because you'll eventually succeed. Hang in there. Things will get better. So things just represents the situation. Whatever the situation might be, you can just use a general things and will get better. You're making a prediction about the future. Things will get better. And then to make it sound like a strong prediction, you can add, I know it. I know it. I know it. So that's a very strong thing to add on. Hang in there. Things will get better. I know it. I know it. All right, everyone. How about this? I like this one. It may not feel like it now, but I know great things lie ahead for you. It may not feel like it now. So the person is upset or disappointed. That's why it may not feel like it now. Instead of feel, you could also use seem. It may not seem like it now. It may not feel like. So we have this double L, feel like. So that's a natural linking there. Feel like it. So like it, do like it, like it, like it. It may not feel like it now, but, so this is a negative, and then we use but to transition to a positive. But I know, which is a strong statement. But I know great things lie ahead for you. So if things lie ahead, it means it's in your future. So that's what it means, lie ahead. It's in your future. And instead of great, you can use a different adjective, amazing, wonderful, any other positive adjective. I like this one, Pritam. You have a great future ahead. It may not feel like it now, but you have a great future ahead. I know it. I know it. So you could add on I know it at the end as well if you wanted. All right, so that's a great one. Very positive. Well, let's transition to a totally different topic. We're done with the news. Good news, bad news. Let's move on and go to the gym. Let's hit the gym. Do you know that expression? To hit the gym. It's just another way of saying let's go to the gym, but it sounds more enthusiastic. Let's hit the gym. Let's go to the gym. So we're at the gym. You might ask someone, is anyone using this machine? Is anyone? So notice this little bit of a z, a voiced sound to connect them. Is anyone? Is anyone? Is anyone? Is anyone using? Is anyone you? So we go from one, and then we have to transition to our vowel. One you. One using this machine. Is anyone using this machine? Repeat after me. Is anyone using this machine? So right now there are a lot of machines available, but maybe there is a towel on one of the machines or an empty water bottle. So you might ask this guy, hey, is anyone using this machine? And then he'll say, oh no, it's free. And then maybe the towel's his and he takes the towel off and he says, no, it's yours, all yours, all yours. So that's a common way to offer something to someone. You can just say, all yours, all yours. It's all yours. The machine is all yours, all yours. Yeah, you can absolutely say, is this machine available? Is this machine available? You can say that as well, for sure. Yeah, all yours, all yours. Very natural. You'll sound like a native speaker. Just make sure you have the S, yours, because it shows the possession. The machine now belongs to you. It's yours. It's yours. Oh, right. This would be too formal. At your disposal. That's not something a native speaker would say in this context. Okay, how about this? Maybe you're a fitness trainer, you're a personal trainer, and you say this to your group of students, or you are attending a class or you're watching a video even. And no, you would not use the word vacant. Vacant is only used with real estate and property is not the right term. You would ask if a unit in an apartment block or a condo is vacant. A hotel also, because you're renting the room. So we don't use this outside of the context of real estate and renting a unit or a room or a building, for example. Okay, so let's warm up with some light cardio. Let's warm up. Let's warm up. So notice that up. You'll hear the M sound. Let's warm up with some light cardio. Some light cardio. Some light cardio. So light is the adjective to mean easy, some easy cardio. So light means not a lot of effort involved. Okay, and to warm up in this context means more literally to get your body warm. So it means to prepare you for the more difficult or challenging exercises that are in your future in this class. Now, in a language class, I could still say this to my students and say, let's warm up with some simple statements. So, we're going to get to a more challenging topic in this class, but we're going to start with something easy. And so you can use this in many different contexts, although it's very commonly used at the gym. Let's warm up with some light cardio. Let's warm up with some light cardio. Yeah, move your body, get warmed up. Now, to warm up, literally as a phrasal verb, means to get your body warm. So, right now, I'm not wearing a sweater. So, I might say, ooh, I need to warm up. And then I would put on a sweater to get my body warm. Okay. I'm surprised people don't know what cardio means. It's a pretty essential fitness terminology. Yeah, cardio stands for cardiovascular exercise, but native speakers wouldn't not say that. Maybe your doctor would say that in a more medical context, but the everyday word that all native speakers use is cardio. Cardio. All right. Now, remember we're at the gym. What does this mean in the context of a gym? How many sets do you have left? How many sets do you have left? How many sets? So notice sets. That T is more of a flat T. Sets. Sets. So you don't push out the sound for the T. Sets. Sets. Sets do you have left? So we know the verb to set. You can set the table, you can set up a meeting, for example. But in this case, it's not a verb, it's a noun. So a set represents one. So the person could reply and say, I have one set left. I have two sets left. I have 5 sets left. So one set, singular, 2 sets. So this is a noun. You add the S depending on singular, plural. So what's a set in this context? I don't see the answer. Oh, yeah, you could ask this. Have you finished your sets? Have you finished your sets? You could ask that. And Q said, I think you mean 6. I have 6 sets left. I'm a little bit lazy today. Yes. And a set is a routine of training. Exactly. So if you are lifting weights in one set, you might lift the weights 5 times. Okay. So you lift them 5 times or lift them 5 times. And then you put the weights down, you take a break, you stretch, you have some water. And that repetition of lifting the weights 5 times is one set. But your trainer wants you to do 5 sets. So you're going to lift the weights 25 times, but not consecutively. So 5 times, break, 5 times, break, 5 times, break. So it's a repetition, but it can be with anything. It can be push-ups, sit-ups, whatever, and any amount as well. Okay. So that is a set, which is very common in the fitness world. Awesome, everyone. Could we say, how many sets do you left? No. You have to say, do you have? Do you have? Because you possess the sets. You can say, how many sets are left? Are left. So you can say that. How many sets are left? Now, maybe you would add, how many sets are left? You can say that. But if you want to use do you, you must use have. Do you have left? Just like you would say, I have 3 reports left. So you have something left, which means remaining. Yeah, how many sets are left? Exactly. So maybe you say this to your personal trainer, you're lifting, and then you're like, oh, how many sets are left? I can't do this anymore. My arms are so tired. How many sets are left? Okay. Yeah, you can ask, are you done with your sets? Are you done with your sets? Yeah, you can say that. Very nice. Yeah. Oh, how many sets do I have to do? I'm tired. So maybe that's what you would say to your personal trainer. And this is why you have a personal trainer, because you need someone to push you to do more than what you think you're capable of doing, right? Okay, how about this? I usually work out in the morning when it's less crowded. I usually work out. So to work out, this is the phrasal verb, which means exercise. Native speakers generally prefer to use the phrasal verb workout, 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 workout. I usually work out in the morning when it's less crowded. It is crowded. So crowded is the adjective form. When it is, it's less. It's less crowded. When it's less crowded. When it's less crowded. I usually work out in the morning when it's less crowded. All right. And you don't need to use this end part. You could just share with someone when you usually work out. Oh, I usually work out after work. I usually work out in the afternoon. I usually work out at 8 a.m., whatever it might be. Oh, well, we were talking about arms, but you can replace this with anything. My legs are so sore today. My legs are so sore today. So this could be because you did a workout, which is the noun form. To work out is the verb. A workout is the noun. Now, maybe you worked out earlier in the morning and then later in the day you say, oh, my legs are so sore today. Or you worked out yesterday or the day before. So sore is when there's pain. There's pain because of the workout. My leg, well, I'm holding my arm. My arms are so sore today. What else could you say? My legs are worn out. Yeah, exactly. So if your legs are worn out, that sounds like to me you don't have any strength in your legs. So if your friend asked you to go for a bike ride, you might say, "Oh, I can't. My legs are worn out. I have no more strength in my legs, so I can't pedal a bike. My legs are worn out. Yeah, I'm drained. I'm drained, which means you don't have any energy left. You can also say, my legs are killing me. My legs are killing me. So my legs are killing me. That's a common one. And again, this is metaphorically. It's an alternative to saying you're in a lot of pain. Now, this can be physical pain because of a workout. It can also be more emotional pain. So you might say, this project is killing me because it's taking a lot of your mental strength or your emotional strength. And so you can use it in that context as well. So something, and then your verb to be has to match. My legs is plural, of course. So my legs are killing me. This project is killing me. Oh, yes, Yoon. You sound like a native now. This is absolutely something a native would say. My legs are totally shot. Totally shot. It means that they're done. You can't even walk. you can't, you can hardly even get up to get a glass of water because your legs are so sore. So you have no strength, no capability, no energy in your legs. Now, of course, you can walk, but it takes a lot more effort than it would normally take. My legs are totally shot. My arms are totally shot. Exactly. Lots of fun things you can say. And absolutely, oh, my head is killing me. If you have a really bad headache, you can say, oh, my head is killing me. Or often, for me, because I stare at a computer all day, like most people, you can say, oh, my eyes are killing me, to represent the fatigue and the soreness in your eyes from staring at a computer all day. So you can say that as well. All right. Well, we'll do, oh, what a cute picture. We'll do this next class because we are out of time. Now, hopefully you're not too tired. Hopefully you're not totally drained from this class. So just a reminder, you can get this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can go to my website and request this and enter your name and email, and it will be emailed directly to you, and you can print it out like I did, or you can just save it to your computer as well. Now, if you enjoyed this lesson, make sure you like it. It does support my channel. It makes sure I can keep making these lessons for you. And also subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson, and put yes, yes, yes in the comments as well. Hidaki liked the lesson. Dorothy liked the lesson. Woohoo. And we don't have any time for Q&A, but I answered a lot of questions as we went along. Okay, I go live every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Eastern time, which is New York time. So you can just figure out what that time is in your time zone. And then if you subscribe and I think you can sign up to get notified for when I go live as well. All right, Stefania liked it. Woohoo, Kessel, Alexander. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Azam. Thanks to you. All right. Absolutely. I'm glad you learned some phrases and you shared some great phrases as well. Horatio, Lama. So nice to see you, Azam. Ivana, love you right back. AK, nice to see you here. Pritam, sending you love. You're very welcome. Thank you. You don't put the S. So it's just thanks or thank you. You don't put the S. Learn English with me. Honestly, you should know that. You can't teach people if you're making that mistake. Stefania. I'm on. Woohoo, everyone. You're very welcome, Kelly. You're very welcome, Omar. All right, Ruslan. Thank you so much for participating. And that's it, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. And I can't wait to see you in my next lesson. Bye, everyone.